before time had a name, before stars burned in the darkness, before the universe learned how to breathe. There was only silence, no sky, no earth, no light to pierce the void. The ancient text calls it formless and empty, a world without shape, without direction, without meaning. Darkness covered everything, and beneath it, endless waters stretched into nothingness. Then something moved. Not a force of nature, not a cosmic explosion, but a will. The Spirit of God hovered over the deep, watching, waiting, as if the universe itself was holding its breath. And then, a voice broke the silence. Let there be light. Not shouted, not forced, simply spoken. And in that single moment, light tore through darkness, order pierced chaos, and existence itself began to unfold. This is not just a story about how the world was made. This is a story about why order exists, why time flows forward, and why humanity stands at the center of creation. From the birth of light, to the shaping of the heavens, to the forming of mankind from dust and breath, this is the beginning of everything. This is Genesis. With light now born, God began to shape the universe with intention. Light was separated from darkness. Day was given its name. Night followed after. And for the first time, time itself began to move. Then God turned to the chaos of the waters. He spoke again, and the heavens were stretched wide, a vast expanse dividing the waters above from the waters below. The sky was formed, not as a decoration, but as structure, order placed between the realms. On the third day, God gathered the waters together, allowing dry land to rise from the deep. The earth emerged, solid, grounded, alive, and from it vegetation burst forth. Grass, plants, trees bearing fruit, each according to its kind. Life was no longer accidental. It followed design. Then God looked to the heavens once more. On the fourth day, he placed lights in the sky, the sun to rule the day, the moon to govern the night, and stars scattered across the darkness. They were not gods. They were not rulers. They were signs, marking seasons, days, and years. Time now had rhythm. On the fifth day, the waters came alive. Creatures filled the seas, great and small, swift and mysterious. Above them, birds took flight across the sky. God blessed them, commanding life to multiply, to fill the oceans and the air. Then came the sixth day, the most profound act of creation. From the earth, God formed living creatures, animals of every kind, wild and tame, moving across the land. And finally, God created something different. Not from command alone, but with intention and purpose. Let us make mankind in our image. Humanity was formed, male and female, bearing the likeness of their Creator. They were given dominion, not to destroy, but to steward the earth, to care for all that had been made. And God saw everything he had created, and it was very good. Then creation paused. On the seventh day, God rested, not from exhaustion, but to sanctify rest itself. Time was given meaning beyond labor. Creation was complete. But the story did not end there. The narrative shifts. Genesis now draws closer, from the cosmos to a garden. The Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. Man did not merely live, he became a living soul. God planted a garden in Eden, a place of abundance, beauty, and harmony. Rivers flowed, trees flourished, and at the center stood two trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Adam was placed in the garden to work it, to guard it, to walk in relationship with God. But something was missing, for it is not good for man to be alone. From Adam's side, God formed woman, not as a servant, not as a ruler, but as an equal partner, bone of his bones, flesh of his flesh. Together, they stood unashamed, fully known, fully alive, and fully connected to their Creator. This was the world as it was meant to be. Before fear, before division, before the fall. For a moment in time, everything was whole. No fear, no shame, no death. Humanity walked in harmony with creation and with God himself. The garden needed no walls. The earth knew no curse, and the human heart had not yet learned to hide. But freedom was woven into creation. In the midst of Eden, two trees still stood, one offering life without end, the other offering knowledge beyond innocence. And where there is choice, there is the possibility of loss. Because love cannot exist without freedom, and obedience has no meaning without temptation. Soon a voice would rise, quiet, persuasive, questioning the very words of God. A single choice would fracture the world. Not through force, but through desire. The fall of humanity would not begin with hatred, but with curiosity, not with rebellion, but with doubt. And when that choice is made, the garden will close, the ground will resist, and time itself will begin to carry the weight of death. This is the world before the fall. And what comes next will define the fate of every soul that follows.